time, then we'll just go without YouTube, which is sad,
Yeah, that's fun.
but it's fine. Oh, it heard my threat and it said, okay, we'll work this time. Isn't that funny? Okay, if you don't work this time, okay, make sure this is turned on. Should be good. Okay, all right. So where we left off, we were talking about
Mhm.
um, if someone's identifying healthy relationships and just what's the first question you would have them ask themselves, and it sounded like you were kind of headed towards the you're gonna recognize it part of it.
Yeah, I
But
think it was like if you're really struggling with relationships over and over again, maybe it's because either you're on the spectrum or the whole, it doesn't mean autistic, it could be ADHD, whatever. Your brain neurology is different. Or maybe they are, or maybe both, and you're just different types. Once I started studying that and then getting the help I needed from the right provider and actually going to a psychotherapist and saying, hi, I need someone who's familiar with unmasking and neurodivergent type of concerns. Then I had the right therapist who's not going to throw an SSRI at you at all because it's the last thing you do in
yeah.
that situation, which was great because before that was everyone's, and then they get you like every couple month you got to come back, or every few weeks, and then it's an insurance based model. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. SSRIs were just such a huge, they were like, here, this will fix it. It's like the Valium. I mean, here, this will fix it.
It's the honestly, it's the Clonopin of the 60s was Clonopin and Quaaludes, and I remember,
Yeah.
70s, my grandparents even talking about this, like that was a big deal, and then later it was Prozac, and then it was something else, but now I think the answer is nothing, and just maybe take care of your hormones, keep that optimized so your body stays healthy for the rest of your life. I don't want my whole body crumbling and my brain being okay. That would be awful, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then honestly, the estrogen helps your brain too. I mean, it's not just estrogen. You might need progesterone. You might also need testosterone. You might need oxytocin. There's a lot more hormones than just estrogen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those like they can test your hormone levels. They just can't test to
Mhm,
see how far off baseline you are or if something's about to
mhm.
happen or those kinds of things. Because I have to get hormone testing. I had a hysterectomy a long time ago. And so I have to get testing to make
Mhm.
sure that my ovaries are still functioning. So it's like, all right, well, let's just make sure everything's working the right way. But it's not necessarily going to tell you, oh, you're in perimenopause. That's not a thing that they can
No,
necessarily
right.
test for right now.
They'll tell
So,
you when it's gone. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, but they won't tell you when you're declining. So you got to go with what you feel.
Yeah.
And honestly, if your doctor says no, go find another one. Go find another one. Go find another one. And
Yes.
somebody, I'm not saying force them. There's a couple circumstances where you really can't. They tried to tell me some of my circumstances where I can't, and then I looked into the white papers and found out they were wrong. And then I delivered the
Yeah.
white papers to the doctor, who was not too happy with me because we actually knew each other pretty well, about the same age, and we are in the same social circles. I was like, I'm sorry, girl, I'm telling you how to do your job. But people do this to me all the time as an orthodontist. They come to me and say, and they push back and they say, tell me about this literature. And I'm like, great, you're right. So you can't get, as a doctor, you have to always evolve too. You can't just be stuck on what you learned in residency or in med
Yeah.
school. You have to constantly evolve. And that's part of the reason even my orthodontics is evolving.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be your own advocate, right? Like that's the one
You do.
thing, especially in the US, whenever it is so insurance
Mhm.
driven, you have to be your own advocate and you really just have to go in there and be like, "Look, this is my experience." And if a doctor is not willing to listen to your experience, then you need a new doctor. That's it.
And I'm just letting y'all know, as a healthcare provider who's been under the insurance model, we can get our licenses revoked. There's a lot of spankings that go on for what we say. Even if we know something is true, we can't say
Mm,
a lot of stuff, and it stinks. I mean, it's being a healthcare provider is harder than it looks. You might think,
yeah.
oh, they make money. First of all, we borrow ridiculous amounts of money to even do this. We lose our everything, our life up to 30, 35. Don't think our life is that great. I don't know if I would do it again, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a tough life decision and you
Mhm.
sometimes I think you probably feel like you're stuck doing whatever you do because that's what you've done for so long. I've definitely been there, but yeah, it's a rough one. So, before you found the path that really stuck for your recovery, you went looking in some different places and we've talked a little bit about Eastern medicine already. So, what was the moment that you were like, this isn't working, I need to look elsewhere?
There was a point where I just wasn't sleeping, like, for
Mm.
years, like, maybe an hour or 2 a night. It wasn't just the hot flashes, it was just I felt like I was wound up like a top, like wound the heck up. And it was cortisol is what it was. It just wasn't getting released. It was funny when I did I'll just tell you, it was psilocybin. It was shrooms, but it was in a healthcare facility with a doctor. Like it
Yeah.
was full on like planned. I mean, like I know people do stuff that's recreational. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to do that, not do that with dose, because that's not what I do. So,
Yeah.
and to be honest, I would lose my license if I even though it's not dentistry, if I told you to do it. So I'm not going to tell you to do it. But, um, I mean, once I went through that journey, it was just one day, the amount of water I lost from the cortisol cleanse was like crazy. I weighed myself afterwards. It was something like 8 pounds of water in 24 hours. It was
Wow.
insane. Like I dropped 2 sizes just from the cortisol coming off, and the cortisol didn't really come back on. It was the weirdest thing. Just incredible. I mean, I think it was the best. And I'll tell you the price. And I don't know, there's probably different centers. I think there's a couple centers there now. The price was not expensive. Like once I found out what the price was and what the ROI could be, this was way cheaper than anything else. The price was like a little over $1,000 US. I mean, granted, it was more on different days of the week, and depending on who your therapist was and who your mediator was and stuff like that. But it was affordable. I mean, yeah, you had to stay in town for 2 nights before and after, and um, you had to get there, but it
Yeah.
was cheaper than going to Disneyland. I mean, by far. I mean, and it
Yeah.
was the best 48 hours of my life. I would never change it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I mean, and if it worked for you, then that's fantastic. Was there anything else you tried that you considered Eastern medicine or not traditional whenever you compare it to Western medicine? And then also, is there anything you wish someone had told you before you went down that road?
I don't think. Oh, Eastern medicine. I mean, I know. I mean, I've done like acupuncture and all
Hmm.
kinds of things like that, and Chinese herbs. I mean, obviously I live in Hawaii, so Chinese medicine is big. So I've been doing that kind of stuff for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, and that definitely helps. I mean, I would say like 1, 2 degrees help, not like 100%. So
Yeah.
but I mean, it was something, and I do believe in it. And honestly, the research is there. I mean, it's not whack-a-mole woo-woo stuff. I mean, it legit is medicine. And as a healthcare provider, I can tell you a lot of medicines and pharmaceuticals are derived from plants. I mean, I took a course in college. It was all about medical plants and how this heart medicine came from this plant and this tribe and everything like that. It's all based on plants. I would much rather take a plant that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years and that the Indians were doing and that's been tested than something that's some mRNA shot that was just derived in some crazy lab. I mean, no, I mean, I trust Eastern medicine way more for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything you wish somebody had told you before you started exploring different things?
I had no tribe. I mean, to be
Mm.
honest, I felt like as a Christian and I'm actually very conservative, believe it or not. Like in my tribe of people, that was like in my family, that's drugs.
Oh,
Drugs
yeah.
bad. Sin. So no, this is medicine, and it's actually going to make me a better person. So that I don't have to be on pharmaceuticals that some drug industry wants me to. I'm sorry. And some pharmaceuticals are, I'm a healthcare provider. Some are necessary. Okay. I'm not saying if you really, really need it, but make sure you really, really need it. And anything that's psych, get a few opinions before you start taking them. Because once you go down that road, it's hard to get off that bus.
Yeah. 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 We've talked about that fairly recently of the way that you get on things. And then it's like, okay, well, now you have to get off, but now you're super dependent on it to function.
It
And so
is,
it gets really difficult.
ah,
Yeah.
I will never, ever do that again in my life unless somehow something rapidly changes. Never, ever, 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 ever. So,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
You mentioned that you're Christian and you went through a Christian recovery program in addition to exploring Eastern medicine and these more spiritual practices. So, did those two ever feel like they were pulling against each other, or did one kind of lead you to another one, or how did that come about?
Two different camps. And to be
Yeah.
honest, the one camp was not too happy I was doing the other camp, and I'm still a fan of both camps. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with being in all camps. The Christian recovery program is actually based not far from where you are in Texas. Pretty funny. That's why now I just connected the dots. So everyone was based near you in Texas. So that's
Oh,
funny.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the name of it. I mean, it is a national program. It's not just in Texas, it's all over the United States. It's called Regeneration Recovery. Um, there is a major website by Watermark. You see it. Take a look at the testimonies on that website. I think that's what was most powerful for me is that you talk about people recovering. When I was taking 12-step programs, I was like, well, I'm not an alcoholic. and I'm not a drug addict. So why do I need to go to a 12-step program? No, 12-step programs are about using the Bible, learning to interpret the Bible and what the Bible says or what God says about different things. And you'd be surprised, God is way more cool than what you've learned in church. Like, God is really open minded. He's cool and he's funny. And once you learn to read the Bible for yourself and use it as your playbook for what you need to do in life, then you stop listening to other people. And that was the most important thing that was for me, is that my whole life I listened to elders, parents, aunties and uncles, older people, and they always would tell me what I did wrong and then I'd correct it. And then I was like, but am I doing stuff wrong? No, I'm actually not. So once I started reading the Bible, then I was like, no, well, scripture says this, so I don't have to do what you're saying. Thank you very much. And now I just use the Bible to tell me what to do in life. I don't listen to anyone. Bible and the laws of my state, but that's it. Like, I don't listen to anyone else. And my life has been so much better since the Bible taught me how to drive myself than everything else.
Yeah. So what were you in recovery from that made you look at these 12-step programs to kind of go, all
84
right, well, I need.
things.
Okay.
So they actually, when you first start this program, they have this list of everything. And I thought I was just recovering from anxiety. I was like, I don't know, I have bad relationships and maybe I'm a little stressed. Like, that was my thing, and I was like, if you can teach me to use the Bible to be less stressed, that's great. They have this giant sheet they give you on day one, and they're like, highlight everything that you might need to recover from that you've done, and basically everything was highlighted or was done to you that wasn't illegal. Like there was nothing illegal that was on there. All the illegal stuff, like robbed a bank or like robbed somebody, like, no, that wasn't me. I don't do burglary or anything like that. Hard drugs, heroin, no. But everything else, things that happened to you when you were a kid, things people have done to you, you know that was like, holy cow, I'm really not that healthy of a person, and maybe I haven't been around that many healthy people, but I can choose to be healthy and make better choices by using the Bible to help me drive the bus. I think I was getting my roadmap from the wrong people, who were
Yeah.
adults, but they really weren't the right people for me to drive my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think whenever you're going through all of those things, it's easy to get into a program like this and say, all right, well, what all are you trying to recover from? But what were you seeking? Like, what you were anxiety and stress, and was there anything like you had looked at other programs and gone, well, that one's not for me. What was
No,
attractive about this one?
no.
No?
It was just like, this is again like
Yeah.
somebody told me. I'm a big try it person, and I think that's just
Okay.
my ADHD. As long as it's not illegal and it's not immoral and it's not going to hurt somebody, I will try this. This program didn't cost anything. Of course, you can tithe and buy the books, which I did. Because I tried to tithe as much as I could so that I could sponsor other people who really actually, if everyone needed the help in their own way. But I think for me, it was a lot of people pleasing. And then I really just realized so what they're going to do is you're going to have these stack of books. I mean, it's a lot of work. I'll be honest. This
Yeah.
program, if you actually do it right, is like a part-time job. You have to go every week. You have to do your homework. You have to meet with a mentor every week. I mean, it was a commitment, but it was the best thing I ever did, because I didn't even realize how much I needed to recover from till I went through that program, and how much trauma I had been through till I went through that program. And then all of a sudden it was like a new skin comes off, and you see things through brand new glasses, and you're like, well, I need to maybe have you out of my life for a little while. I need to do this better. I need to do this. And I just felt like a million times. It was almost like when you first take an SSRI and you feel great for those first few weeks, but I felt like that permanently. I mean,
Mm.
granted, I was also doing hormones, but the hormones started a couple years before. So, and I also was coming out as neurodivergent. There was a lot of things happening, but I felt like all of this had to happen in order to have the new me and have the new healthy and happy me.
Yeah. And you said you tried a lot of different things looking for recovery. So what are some things that didn't work, and how did you know, like, actually this is not going to work for me?
Oh, it was just mainstream therapy and
Yeah.
medications. No, I
Yeah.
mean the stuff that most people do when they try to get healthier. None of that worked for me. And
Yeah.
I tried that stuff since I was in my 20s. I mean, decades of someone that just isn't as healthy as they feel like they should be. And granted, on the outside, I'm sure I looked healthy to most people. I mean, sometimes I have a temper and sometimes I get angry and stuff like that. But I was very functional. I had a job. I
Right.
mean, I was involved, Girl Scout leader, Boy Scout leader. I mean, did a lot of stuff, spinning a lot of plates. But sometimes those people are really stressed. There's too much on
Mhm.
their plate.
Yeah, that high functioning masking is a huge, huge thing. We actually
Mhm.
just talked about
And
that.
people pleasing. You,
Yes.
you don't say
Yep.
no to people. That's the problem, is that I know I can spin a lot of plates at one time, but is it healthy for me to spin all those plates? I started learning to pause, not say yes. Now I say no to almost everything. Nope. This is my year. I told people this is my year of doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
working, I'm exercising, I'm still kind to family and stuff like that, but I'm not serving anyone this year. This is
Yeah.
my year to myself.
Good for you. Yeah. So if folks are drawn to that spiritual side or that woo-woo side of healing, but they feel like they have to pick a lane when it comes to things like, well, what faith? Well, what therapy? Well, what Eastern? Do you want to do Eastern? Do you want to do Western? What would you tell them?
You know what, there, if you still want to keep your love for Christ or your love for whatever religion, and it doesn't matter if it's, Judaism or anything, Islam, I think you'll find out probably there will be some air aspects of it that will be more open-minded, and there's going to be some more conservative ones. I mean, I just wouldn't tell them. So I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'm not going to lie to a clergyman, but they're not educated on this. I'm a healthcare provider, I know this stuff more, and I have lived experience, and I can read every journal article, and you just don't know what you're talking about. So I'm not going to mention that to you. But I mean, if they flat out ask me, I would tell them the truth. That's not a problem. And I was actually pretty transparent, even in my recovery program. I think some of the leaders didn't like that I said, well, I tried some stuff and it actually made things better. And by the way, I am a healthcare provider, so I legit know what I'm talking about. And I think they really wanted us just to focus on Jesus only, which is fine. I mean, if that's
Yeah.
working for you, that's great. I tried that before. I've done through other, faith-based programs, and it never worked until I layered in all the rest of the stuff. And now it's stuck. So, and whatever keeps you with your faith, and I think that's the main thing, however it works.
Yeah, yeah. And it's very individualized, like you're saying. It doesn't matter what religion you're looking at, or even if you are not associated with a religion, even if you just find yourself spiritual, or even if you find yourself atheist or anything. Like there's all kinds of different
Yeah.
things that you can take from something. Take what serves you, and that's all you need.
Take what makes you a better person. I mean, if it makes you a better person, that's great.
Yeah. Bite Mark had to work tonight, but she sent this question ahead of time. She would like to know, what is your favorite poem?
You mentioned that one to me, and I just have been like stressing about that. So I love poetry. Matter of fact, I brought it up with my daughter before she left because we were just talking. She's like, "What podcast are you on?" And I was like, "I don't want her listening live on her way to the airport because she'll probably get mad." So I'm not telling her. I was like, "Oh, a fun one." And then I said, "Oh, there's one question. What's my favorite poem?" Girl, I love poetry, but there's something about my neurodivergence, and that's what I just had to figure out, is like I'm terrible with titles. I can't remember a single
Yeah,
title, but when I hear the
same.
poem, I'll remember. I'm like, boom. So, whatever is cool and sounds good and like just I feel it in my soul. And if you've got one you want to share, I would love to hear it. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
I don't know.
there's a great one. I'll put it in the chat because I have been asked
Cool.
this and I had to pick my own favorite poem as well. But there's a poem by Hannah Danes, and I won't read the whole thing, but
Mhm.
the name of it is
Okay.
Don't Kill Yourself Today. And it goes through and it talks
Oh, that's a good
about,
one.
like, okay, yeah, there's all these reasons. You've heard all the things. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and you know that, and you've known
Mhm.
that. But also, if you can find a small reason, like you got to feed your cat tomorrow, or
I do.
you want to finish your shampoo and your conditioner together instead of separately for the first time, or if you want to stay alive because you haven't learned to make a recipe from your grandmother yet, or just like whatever small thing you can pick, even if it sounds pointless. The whole poem is just about, even if it sounds pointless, whatever reason is just fine. So that's
I would love to see that poem. That sounds
yes,
great. And I
yep,
and I want to be that person. I'll be honest. I mean, if anyone, not that I'm a health therapist or anything like that, but if anyone who listens who knows me, you can come up to me and talk to me about this anytime. Like if you
yeah,
ever are struggling, I've been there. Like come talk to me because that's not worth it. That's part of the reason I'm out here talking honestly instead of keeping it all bottled up and only talking to my therapist, even though it makes a lot of people pissed off that I'm doing this a lot. I mean, there's gonna be blowback, because this is my first of my spicy podcasts that I'm doing where I'm really unloading. Good. Because if I can help 5 people, 10 people, even one person who then can help another one person, then this is how it works. It's
yes.
exponential. Me taking a shortcut and cheating, no, that's not an option.
Yeah, I like that. I do also know that Bite Mark considers songs to be poems as well. So if you have a favorite song, she'll take that too.
Yes. Okay. My favorite song today is Hips by Allison Eide, Eide. It came out about a month or two ago. It is like a women, it's women power plus religion. but it's also women power. So it doesn't matter which way you take it. It's just like hands off my thoughts, hands off my body. I mean, girl, I mean, like I don't know. You're a little younger than me, but when I went to school when I was younger, guys were just touchy feely. I mean,
Yeah.
they used to snap our bra straps in
Yep.
school in sixth grade. I mean, they never got in trouble. We got touched all the time in school. No one would get in trouble. The stuff I've been through and the harassment and the essays, like there's been a lot of stuff even in school. There is so much abuse in school. It's not okay, and
Yeah.
our generation, Gen X, has been through a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's one of the things that I've been working on with my kids is definitely talking about consent and all of those things and
It's
that's
very different.
it's totally different, but it makes me so
Mhm.
happy whenever especially my youngest is like, "What do you mean don't do that? Of course I would never do that." Like,
No, I know their brains are
good.
completely
Yeah,
different.
totally
But I'm
different.
like, now you know why we sometimes are very jumpy because the stuff we
Yes.
went you guys have no idea
Yep.
what we went through,
Yep.
and I'm 10 years older than you, it's and 10 years older than me. My mom's stories are horrible. Like some
Yeah.
of the stuff it makes me cry that she went through. It's horrible. So, give some of us older spicy women, whether we're in peri, we're not, we're neurodivergent, give us a little grace because there's a reason why Gen X and some of the older Zennials and stuff are angry. It's because we were
Yeah.
terribly treated when we were younger. And if we were working, we even treated even worse.
Yeah.
The stuff we've been through is horrible, and I'm out here to tell you guys a little bit more to give us older people a little grace. That's all I'm asking.
100%. 100%. What is your favorite life hack?
Life hack. So I'm a neurodivergent autistic ADHD who is very on time. It's funny. There's another real like Instagram TikTok thing is are you autistic or are you German? I don't know if that's on your algorithm, but like I guess because I speak German, like it's on mine, and it's been hilarious. Um, I just like pünktlich, like immer always pünktlich, like always on time, just get it done. If I've never had executive function issues because I just get that shit done, like now, like get it done, and then it's not on your plate, and just get
Yeah.
it over with. That's my life hack.
Yep.
Do it now.
Listen,
Don't
I
procrastinate.
I would much rather be on time. My children don't have that memo, so sometimes I'm late anyway because they don't
Early's on
have
time.
that
On time
memo.
is late, and late is
Yes.
unacceptable. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And I definitely used to show up to family functions, especially like super on time, early enough that my grandparents, if I was not 30 minutes early, they'd be calling me like, "Are you okay? Did you get a flat tire? What's going on? Because we need you to set up the chairs."
Yep. Yep. That's me.
So, yep. But now it's like, okay, well, I'll be there when my children allow, apparently.
Then you can blame it on the kids. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Well, it is time for the magic moment of the stream, and I have a magic wand here. If you could
Cool.
wave a magic wand and eliminate one common opinion or misconception surrounding mental health, what would it be?
This is a good one. When I went to residency, even in dental school, multiple male professors told me never treat a woman over age 40 because they are all crazy. And I've heard this 10 or 15 or 20 times
No.
from male doctors. Oh, 100%. I was always in my residency, I was the only female in my class. So I'd be like, that's gross. Um, but then, yeah, that's not true. We just are struggling in a period of our life. Eventually it gets, figured out. And if you have someone in your life who seems like they're struggling, mention it. Maybe they don't
Yeah,
even realize. I don't think I even realized that I was like that until I started seeing clips or people would film it or stuff like that. I was like, oh shoot, I did say that. That's awful. Because when you're really stressed and really, whether it's an autistic meltdown or whatever it is, it could be just a perimenopause rage, you don't remember stuff and you're like, ew, I need to be better. So get help if you need it. Don't be embarrassed. Speak up. And it's okay to say, it's just my hormones or it's just my tism, whatever. I mean, you'd be surprised how understanding people are, even in stores and other stuff. Like people are actually really nice. And you often actually I think you have a better life when you're more open about it.
yeah. I love that. Well, I'm going to post your socials one more time for everybody who is here. If there's anything while I do that we didn't cover that you want to make sure you mention, anything you're working on, feel free to just talk about it. I'll give you the floor for a minute and post your socials one more time for folks.
Sure, no problem. I guess I want to talk a little bit more about teeth since that's usually my special interest. So, if anyone, I doubt you have many dentists that are listening or any, but if anyone is, they're welcome to go to my channel. Or if you're a mommy or anything like that, my channel is meant for dentists, but you're welcome to take any of the content and share it with your dentist, and they may treat your kid or treat you differently. So take a look at some of the stuff I have. It's really outside the box thinking in dentistry, but it's all based on literature and lived experience. It might actually give you a better outcome. And if you are a mom and you have little kids, please start looking at your kids' teeth as soon as they come in. Start looking for signs of airway issues, orthodontics, needing orthodontics younger. There's a lot of stuff you can do young, and a lot of times it's way cheaper and you'll save a ton of money on braces later. So take a look.
I love saving money earlier rather than spending money later. It's always great.
Hmm. For sure.
Well, to everyone who is here with us live, I'm going to disconnect with Dr. Amanda behind the scenes in just a moment, but I've got a puzzle for y'all to work on. Actually, let me refresh that puzzle real quick so that it'll be up on the screen for you guys on that Be Right Back screen. But just think about a relationship in your life and ask yourself honestly if it's the healthy kind or if it needs some work or if you need to just step away from it. But I hope you got a lot out of this conversation tonight, especially hearing that the healing doesn't have to just come from one place. Recovery does not have to come from just one place. You're allowed to try the church. You're allowed to try, whatever else you want to try, even as far as drugs, as long as they are safe and supervised. But everything in between, and then until you find what sticks. I hope that you got a lot out of this conversation. I know that I did. And Amanda, thank you so much for your honesty and for laughing at yourself along the way and just showing up today and sharing your story with our Even Tacos Fall Apart community.
Super fun. You guys have the best title.
Yeah,
So cool.
it's fantastic. I absolutely love just what we call ourselves. I think it's a lot of fun and super descriptive. But to everyone here watching, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for being exactly who you are. I will be right back. Do not go anywhere.